We already had a practice.
We did. We already had we already know what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So I'll probably include this too because it's funny. No, I'm just kidding. Well, welcome, Stephanie, back again.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Well, the last time that we did this recording, the audio did not get the audio. And so you're coming back in for take two.
Yes, take two.
But that's good. We already had a run through. And now this time we figured out a way to actually use the TV, which we'll talk about in a second.
We press the on button.
We press the on button. The on button is on, so we are good. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us why you're here.
Yes, hi. My name is Stephanie Sugg, and I am the 2002-2003 Warrior Mascot of South Prairie High School, and I'm here to talk about my experience as the mascot.
Yes, I'm so glad that you're here. And we get to watch a video of you being the mascot, which you have not seen in a long time.
Well, I have not seen ever, actually. So just kind of recently, there's been talk of mascot things on Facebook page. And I kind of reached out to some of my alumni and I was like, hey, does anybody have a picture or a video or anything of me being the mascot? Just so, number one, I can see it. And number two, so I can kind of show people and brag to my children. And my son's actually just starting high school this year. So I wanted to kind of just have a proud moment. And one of my girlfriends said, hey, my mom has some VHS tapes.
Oh, awesome.
And then she sent me about 5 or 6 recordings, and I have been so giddy since.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And you sent them all to me. So I'm going to link them in all of the videos in the Substack post, which is what we use to put this out. And then it'll go on YouTube and all that stuff too. But this is just a little plug that I did not do last time, but I will do this time. This is part of the Prairie. It's a Faces of Prairie alumni channel. And this is really designed just for alumni like us that have come from all the different high schools in Prairie, to kind of get together and to have some pride in some our history in our schools and just to kind of promote alumni involvement and what can we do to be a good positive force within our students that are still there. Mm-hmm. And so this was a really good opportunity for us to kind of start that initiative because this last senior year, they're having trouble finding people to be the Warrior mascot. And it's really just about finding students that want to actually volunteer to do it. Mm-hmm. And so the idea that we kind of talked about in our little Facebook group was maybe we should talk to people that have been the Warrior mascots and talk about how it affected them and why they wanted to do it. And so you said, I will do it. And now you're here. So
and something that just kind of struck a chord in me with what you just said is pride. Mm-hmm. And that is something that I feel may be missing. You know, I know that they haven't had a mascot in quite a while. So
I was surprised by that.
I was absolutely surprised by that because whenever, I tried out in 2002, 2003 school year, it was something that was so sought after. It was something that
we should say they do still have a Warrior mascot. Mm-hmm. They don't have anybody that wanted to try out to be the Warrior mascot. Yeah. So it has not changed. There's still Warriors at South Prairie High School, but they just haven't found anybody to actually want to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And where is that pride? Mm-hmm. When I had tried out, we're not going to say how many years ago. Lots of years ago.
Unfortunately, VHS is time-stamped.
A couple of decades ago. Well, when I had tried out, it was so sought after. It was such a prideful position that so many people wanted to hold and to uphold. I remember when I had competed for it and it was a competition. It wasn't just like, hey, sign here and you're it. No.
Yeah, please someone do it. No, it was like several people had run.
Yeah, or anybody begging. No. It was about 6 or 7 of us. And all of them were actually guys. And I was the only girl that was auditioning or trying out at that time. And I had decided, I knew school spirit was such a big thing my school year. So I knew I wanted to be a cheerleader or a Cheyenne or mascot. I knew I wanted to be something because I wanted to uphold that prideful, warrior aspect of high school. So I had actually told the Cheyenne director at that time, if I don't make the mascot, I'll be Cheyenne. Because like I said, I wanted to be something on that field.
But you wanted to be mascot first.
I wanted to be mascot, yes. And I did my due diligence and I did the skits they had us do. And I, learned the dance and I, learned all the chants. And I put my blood, sweat and tears, no blood, but all my sweat and tears on that, audition floor. And, I made it. And it was one of my happiest times of my life. I've been married. I have kids. It was one of the happiest moments of my life. It made my high school memories so much more rich.
Yeah. Well, I think that that's a good time to actually watch this video. So this is the first time you've ever seen, not this today, but when you received these just what, like a month ago?
Mm-hmm.
It's not been very long.
Mm-mm.
So we're going to watch one of them if I can get this to work. Come on now. We just worked.
It was working earlier,
It was.
promise.
Hold on. Let me, I'm going to cut that part out.
I see.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
The mouse wasn't on the actual screen. Okay. I'm figuring this out. All right. So this is you as the mascot. Ah, look at that.
All my cheerleaders around me.
So this is at the Gopher Bowl, obviously.
Yeah, and I want you to pay attention to the two guys that are actually on the field as well. They became cheerleaders. Will and Keith, they became cheerleaders after, unfortunately they didn't make Mascot, but it was so I'm telling you, they wanted to be a part of the pride at SGP. So they became cheerleaders and flag runners, and it was awesome.
Now this poor child, I'm assuming that this girl's wearing a cast because
yes,
she can't get down.
She cannot.
But this is the traditional warrior dance. Look at you! Ah, that's so awesome. So we'll leave that up because y'all were obviously, this was cold because I can tell that the cheerleaders are wearing all of their sweats and everything, their little workout. But this was the traditional warrior dance. Now, who taught you how to do that?
So it actually all goes back to when I made the mascot. They were in contact and a partnership. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I was only 17.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ask very many questions. But with some family in Grand Prairie. And I remember meeting with that family and them teaching me the proper way to represent being a warrior. So they showed me the dance and they showed me the proper attire to wear. And they just kind of showed me the proper way to respectfully represent it. And when it came to the entire attire, whereas, in there you can see my legs have bushy wool on them. I had wool on my legs. I had bells. You can hear the bells in the video. I had bells on my knees. I had moccasins on my feet. I had ribbons everywhere. I had beads on my forehead and on my arms, on my wrists, feathers flowing down. As you can kind of see there in the little silhouette, there's it's almost like a mohawk of like porcupine.
Let's see.
Yeah. Almost like quills. And then I had two feathers that just kind of stuck up and then beads on my forehead. This was the proper way to wear warrior attire. I know in the past there has been, controversy about what it should look like or a headdress or a chief or, whatever it is. But it was so sacred to South Grand Prairie. I don't know if it was just at that time or, just in general. It was so sacred that they wanted to represent it the correct way. So they brought in this family to show me the way. And to me, that was so powerful.
Yeah.
It meant so much more because they wanted me to take care of it. And I truly felt like I did. I had feathers on I think they called it bustle, on the back where they stuck out from my bottom. And then on my shoulders, I would wear them like a backpack almost. And they would stick out from up top as well. I don't think I'm wearing them here. I am wearing them in another video.
I would assume that you're wearing something warm also here because it's probably cold. And there was a lot that you had. That was, I assume that it was kind of a heavy.
It was heavy. I had to actually, I wasn't allowed to even ride the school bus. I had to be transported with all of the pieces. And then I couldn't dress myself. I had to be dressed just to make sure everything is put properly, and just the care that went into it was just beautiful.
Sure. That's amazing. And then you gave it back at the end of the year. It's not like anybody got to keep it. I mean, this was a big deal.
It was a huge deal. I did not get to keep it. And I knew it cost a couple of $1,000.
Yeah.
to get that.
Well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the very first Warrior mascot was in 1969, because that's when South Grand Prairie was built, and students actually voted on the Warrior mascot.
Wow.
Just like the Gophers were voted on by the student body. And so what they did was they commissioned a Indian tribe in Oklahoma to make the very first Warrior mascot. And I'll put a picture of it because it's in. I do have a picture of it, a digital picture from newspapers.com from the Grand Prairie Daily News back then. So it's not in color. It is in black and white, but you can at least see. I mean, this was not done in any type of way that was a mocking or taking advantage of what we were doing. They have always been very intentional about making sure that it was authentic, it was done in the right way. And I mean, of course, the attire has changed a little bit over the years to kind of adapt to, just like clothing does,
Yes.
But this was something that was very important. I mean, look at us. We were so excited. Like every single person in those stands that's in this video was down there doing this.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we have our W out. We have our Warrior, motion. We're paying tribute to our mascot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was just a time in my life where, I mean, like I said before, when I think back of my high school experience, it was the pep rallies. It was, the week, we had spirit weeks, and everyone
Those kids are looking at us.
Everyone would dress up, and everyone, whatever the theme was, it was such a big deal. Friday night lights, we were all going to the football games. During the week, we would, have those dress ups, and I just wonder, what does it look like today?
I don't know.
Is that school spirit still there? Like you said, there is still a mascot, but what is hindering people from running to try out? Like my year, it was 6 or 7 of us.
Yes. We asked at the end of last year, evidently, students having a mascot is a big part of their high school experience. And when you don't have one, then what they did last year, the seniors made one, and they kind of did it in a horse attire, kind of like the Texas Ranger mascot. And they said, this is our mascot Warrior. And it was because nobody had tried out. So we asked the principal, like, what's going on? He said, I'm all about it. We just can't get anybody to try out.
Yeah.
So this is a good opportunity. If you were a mascot back during your high school days, send out your videos. Let's put together like a collage of all the different mascots from throughout the years. If there is a video, I think we've always had, well, probably in the 70s, it might be kind of tricky, but if 80s and 90s when we had VHSs, show us what it looked like, or send us a picture of what you look like in your as a mascot. And we're going to send it to South. We're going to send it to the principal and see what we can do to encourage these kids to be more excited about being the mascot. And then also not just the mascot, but paying tribute to the mascot through our fight song and our alma mater song. The last time that I was there, the school's gotten so large that they can't have all of the grades in the Coliseum anymore. There's just too many students. So the 9th and the 10th grade students are not in the pep rallies. It's the 11th and 12th graders that are in the pep rallies.
That breaks my heart.
It breaks my heart. Like, you don't even know. But when I was there last, I was like, why is nobody doing the tomahawk motion? And they were like, they don't know the fight song. I was like, okay, we need to figure this out. So we need to also be encouraging, them to learn the words to your fight song, learn the words to your album, because all those things were done by students.
Yes.
They were made by students previous to them.
And it kind of makes me think, like, we want to hear student voices.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Students, how do you feel about school spirit? How do you feel about knowing or not knowing the fight song? Are you given opportunities to learn these things and the album, just all of that? How do you feel? What is making you possibly think about trying out for mascot? What is something that's maybe hindering you from not even thinking about it? Let's hear from some students and see how they feel.
That's a great idea.
Is there any changes that we as alumni can do? Is there any changes that, just the school district in general can do? What do you need? Because, I mean, look, it was there at one point. What are we missing? Where's the gap so we can stand in the gap and fix it?
Yes. So you're going to help with this. And so we're going to post this. I will post all the videos because there's video, like you didn't just do that. You were also a cheerleader. Like you learned some of the cheers and stuff. Cause there's a couple of videos that we have of you doing defense and like all those things. So I'll post all those in the Substack. I'll also post how you can send in your videos and your pictures. And if you want to talk to me, we can, or to you, if you wanted to help with that, we can do a little mini interviews where we talk to people about why you chose to run or chose to try out to be the mascot and what your experience was like.
Yeah. So, and please let us know. Last time you had talked about possibly doing a mini documentary with all the past mascots. So if you are a past mascot, please reach out to us. We want to know your story. And maybe this is something that we can put together and even share with the kiddos. And if the students can see it, maybe it will encourage them to want to be like us.
Yes. And I just recently did an entire advertising guide. I just put it out today about how you can get involved with sponsoring these types of projects. So if you are a GPISD alumni and you own a Grand Prairie based business, which we have a lot of you, and this is a project that you might want to support financially, like we would love to have your support, and we can start showcasing some of our GPISD alumni businesses in Grand Prairie, and to show your pride for your mascot and for your experience, even if you're not a mascot. I mean, even if you're not a warrior and you're a gopher, we still want to have your involvement as well. So, so thank you for being on again.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Yes. And I'm glad that we got to see the video. I think that really makes a big difference.
And you guys are going to see a whole lot more of those videos if you click below.
That's right. Click below. Exactly. And definitely subscribe. You can subscribe just to the alumni channel if you want to do that, because I'm sure we're going to put this out on the alumni groups, both of them. So go ahead and subscribe and share with people that you went to school with, because the only way that we can pass this along is making sure that we're sharing it with our fellow graduates and alumni. So.
And hopefully, by sharing this and getting in contact with our fellow alumni, we can become something bigger than we ever even imagined.
I agree. Well, have a great day.
You too.
Okay.
Thank you.